Well, hello, I'm trying to do this early. So, I'm trying to go to bed early. I don't know if it'll work or not. I'm enjoying this great nutritional shake. It's a meal. There's a lot of nausea happening, and I can keep one of these down sometimes. Not all the time. But what we are talking about today, which is interesting, is actual surgery. Because it was complicated, and it was extra, and it was annoying, and just like me. So, there are so many dogs. Anyway, I can hear their feet. So we get to the hospital, and it's around 8 o'clock at night, and I'm scared to death. Not sure if it's gonna happen because of what happened last time. So, you know, I'm still unsure and confused and so scared, right? And it's choking me. So she said to get there, and then they would shower me and get me ready because there's a lot to do. So fine. So I get there, we're sitting in the room, just sitting on the bed, chilling in my everyday clothes and waiting to get a shower. And coordinator comes in and talks to me, and I'm not like knowing a lot of these people. So they're introducing themselves, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm meeting people, so maybe this is gonna happen. And then nurse comes in and says, no time for a shower. We're gonna wipe you down with these some type of wipes that is supposed to take away germs or so. I don't know. But she gave me like 4 packs of them, and I had to go in the bathroom and like take a shower with wipes. It was interesting. And but I had a shower that morning and hadn't really done anything because I was sick, so just laying around. But I don't know. I felt okay. I felt okay about it, wiping myself down with those things. They were in like a rust-colored bag, and so I wiped my whole self down with them, and then got a hospital gown on and those cute little slippers. And they stuck me in a room, and it was sort of like kind of looked like a recovery room, but it was, because when the curtains are open, there's all kinds of things going on, and people on computers, and doctors and nurses, and it's just very busy. And so people started coming in like 9, 10 o'clock. I mean, it was so busy. Time was going so fast. People were just coming in. And it was everybody from surgeons, nurses, anesthesiologists. They took me back for some tests. It was a lot of things happening in a very short period of time. And when it got to about midnight, I looked at Lee and I said, is this happening? Like, am I about to get a liver transplant? And he said, I think so. And I was so scared, so relieved at the same time. So I don't know how that works, but it worked. So he took a picture of them rolling me back. And I got back, well, we sat there, let me backtrack a little bit. We sat there until like around 1 a.m. when people were coming in and out, really slowed down around 1 a.m. And we sat there and they were monitoring my vitals, and I was getting fluids and antibiotics. And I, asked the nurse, what time? And she said surgery scheduled for 3 a.m. Okay. So we just sat there while people were coming in, checking my vitals, checking things, and I was trying to doze off, but there was no way I could go to sleep. I was just nervous, scared, on and off crying because I was scared. And Lee was comforting me, and they came in the room, 4 of them, 4 white coat doctors, and looked at me and said, "We're ready." And I was like, okay, we're gonna do this. And I looked at the nurse who had been coming in and out of the room, and I said, "This is really happening, isn't it?" And she said, "It has to happen. All your test results are back. All of your vitals are great. I mean, as good as they could be, right? And yeah, this is happening." So, they took pictures. Lee took some pictures of them rolling me back, and I'm not sure if I was smiling. I don't remember. I'll post it here though. And but I can just remember holding my side where my liver is and just going, okay, well, this is going to change, right? So I get back there, and there's nurses and doctors lining the hallway, and they are slapping my hands. And when I got there to the OR, I'm still awake. And but they had given me something to start the process. I was super relaxed and super chill, and so scared still. And I can remember a nurse bending all the way down to my ear, and she said, "Everything's gonna be fine. You're in the best hands." I was like, okay. And I was just ready to go to sleep. I was overwhelmed. I didn't know if I was gonna wake up, and I was so scared. I knew Lee was out there. But wait till you hear his story, right? So the last thing I remember is the doctor telling me that he's putting the anesthesia in, and I felt it burn, and he's just tapping my hand a little bit. He was like, "It's okay. It's okay. Just a couple seconds, and then I was out." So obviously, this is from the doctor's account, and not mine, because I was clearly asleep. So I'm not sure the time frame. Lee will probably be able to sum that up, but I know it took them most of the night and into the morning to do the transplant. And they kept me under anesthesia, and they put me in a recovery room because of the bile ducts mismatched size. They had to do a whole other surgery on my bile duct. So they did not close me up. They put this skin flap sort of barrier over my skin, under my skin, where they had me opened up. They kept me open, and they put this, I guess, protective sort of flap thing over my open cavity, and they needed me to recover a little bit from that transplant, and so they can go back and do the second surgery. Now we are into, I got there Friday night at 8 p.m. They called me for surgery at 2:30. Surgery lasted all night. The next day is when they didn't close me up. They put me in recovery. And then I was there for most of the day. And then that night, Saturday night, they took me back into the OR to do the second surgery. And they did not wake me up at all during this time. So, so they go back and they do the second surgery, and it went okay. Apparently it went okay. And they put me in recovery on life support because I guess, I don't know, but I know that I was on life support, and I'll post that video as well. Lee took some video. And the machine was breathing for me, and I was unconscious. I had the whole deal, and I woke up Sunday morning early, and I saw Lee, and I couldn't speak because I had the tube in, and I could hear them talking around me, and I wanted to talk, and I'm getting angry, and they have your hands, tied down, right? So you can't pull things out. So they had me restrained, and I couldn't move my arms, and I couldn't talk, and I was so upset. And I could hear Lee going, you're going to need to get that out of her. She's not going to have it, right? And I'm trying. Finally, it was a couple hours later when I heard her say, it's okay. We're gonna slowly bring her out. And I couldn't talk, but I could hear what was going on around me. I could hear the nurse tell Lee that I was doing fine. I could hear the nurses and the doctors talking. I couldn't feel anything except for the fact that I had this big tube down my throat and my hands were restrained. Finally, the restraints came off, the tube came out, and I was able to talk barely. But one of the first things I said, I obviously said hi to Lee. I was like, hi. And I just lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, this first thing I realized when I woke up is that I had to pee, which was weird to me because I hadn't had the urge to urinate in a year or longer. So I said, I gotta pee. Lee was like, what? And I was like, yeah. Well, she said, it's okay, you've got a catheter. And you know what I mean? No, I said, I want to go. I want to go to the bathroom on my own. I need this catheter out. And there was a lot of blood, and I'm not sure what that was. Gynecologist came in, and she's like, that's actually normal. You'll be fine. Because I'd already went through menopause, so my liver disease threw me into menopause, and it was great going through menopause and liver disease at the same time. So here I am, awake, talking. Dr. Shaw comes in, Dr. Quillen comes in, and I'm just awake, wide awake, and thanking them. How do you thank somebody for saving your life when you're so close to death? How do you show appreciation? There's just no way. And Dr. Shaw, there's just no words. And Dr. Shaw did not do my transplant. Dr. Quillen did. But if it weren't for Dr. Shaw and Liz Bonus from Channel 12, I don't think I would be here telling my story. It was scary, y'all. And I wanted out of there. And they're like, look, you just had a transplant, so, you know, you're not going home. I was so upset. I wanted to go home. I'm like, I can do this at home. And they made me lay in bed that day. And then the next morning, I told them I wanted up. And I needed that catheter out. And I needed a shower. And they wouldn't let me shower quite yet, but they gave me this foam soap, and it was good enough. It was horrible, but it was good enough. And the dry shampoo and all kinds of stuff that I had packed. And I said, look, I don't want to be in this gown anymore. And they told me I needed to at least stay in it one more day because, you know, they needed to get in and do some things. So I'm like, all right. So that was Monday. I woke up and said, I want this catheter out. I want to take a walk. And believe me, I was so sore. I was so sore. And obviously I was on opiates and serious pain medicine, which was driving me insane because I hate them. And they make me feel horrible. But I clearly know that I needed them at the time. So on Monday, I got up and started walking around. And on Tuesday, I took a few laps around the hall. And every day, I just got out of bed and sat in the chair. And just, you know, I had my oldest daughter came up and she took care of my hair because it was a hot mess. And she combed it out for me, put some dry shampoo in it, and then my niece came up and spent the day with me. And obviously my brother-in-law, Cameron, came up. My mom came up. Yeah, it was interesting. I didn't want to be there, and I just wanted to be home. So obviously I needed to stay there. I just had a transplant. So Wednesday came. They came in and did all of the restrictions that I have. And I have a lot of restrictions, guys. There's things I can't eat. There's things I can't, you know, I can't change a litter box. I hate cats. I don't hate cats. I like cats as long as they're not mine. I don't like cats in the house. Yeah. I don't like cats in the house because I see them jump on tables and on countertops, and they deposit little things everywhere. And I don't know, I've probably said this before, but I was at a picnic at my brother's house years ago, and they had the cat box in the kitchen, and we were cooking out, and there was dishes all over the countertop, and the cat went to the bathroom and did this little thing with its feet, and then jumped up on the countertop and walked across the food. Ah, that's why I don't like cats. I don't mind them if they're outside. I'll have a cat if it's outside, you know what I mean? And it stays outside. But I'm a big rabbit lover, and I train my rabbits to go in the litter box and let the dogs don't eat off the floor because they're dog treats. You can buy them off Amazon. Go look it up. Rabbit poop dog treats. I'm not making that up. So I can't be touching litter boxes. I can't be cleaning up the dog poop. I can't do potlucks. I can't do lunch meat. If I do, it has to be microwaved for a few seconds first. I shouldn't do picnics because I don't know how long the food's been setting out, who's prepared it, what they've prepared it with, that kind of stuff. There's a lot of things, you know what I mean? I can't be out in the sun. It's a life altering thing. So there's a lot of things that I can't do. There's a lot of things that obviously I can't drink. I can, I guess. I don't know, but I won't. I'm not going to. I've been fine. I wasn't an alcoholic, so I never craved it, if that makes sense. I don't need it to survive. And there's grape juice. If I need a glass of wine, I'll grab some grape juice. But so to round this out and bring it to an end, I asked the doctor Wednesday morning, could I go home? And I mean it. I want to go home. And he said, you still got drains. And I said, can we handle those at home? He said, yeah. And Lee was in the room, and he said, we'll have a nurse come in here and show you how to, they were drain bags. And they would just fill up with bloody fluid. And they would get pretty full. There was 2 of them, one on each side of my stomach. And Lee was amazing. As disgusting as that was, Lee changed out my drain bags. And then I did it, the further along it went. I was released from the hospital on Thursday afternoon. I had my transplant early Saturday morning on the 30th of October. And that's 21, by the way, 2021. And so I went in Friday night. I had my surgery Saturday morning, and by Thursday I was home after a liver transplant. I was pretty proud of that. I came home. Mo was there to help me in my recovery. I had home health care. I had physical therapy, and she was walking me around the house, and then I would start walking around the house myself, and then I started doing the steps, walking up and down the steps as slow as I could to try to get it back. And every day I got better and better and better. I had the drains in for about 10 days, and I finally got to take those off. Right around that time, I guess it was around a week, it was around 2 weeks. I had to go get my staples out, and that was fun. And then I just started to try to live a normal life again. Learn my restrictions, going to the lab every single week, and sometimes I still have to go every single week. I went this morning. I went and done my labs this morning. I went yesterday, but they were closed. I went all the way there and they were closed. But there that is. So I'm you know, at that point, just recovering and getting better, and not quite getting out to do things yet, but I did go to Kroger, I believe. However, you know, I had just had surgery, transplant surgery, so, you know, masking up is super important. When I was going out in public, um, masking up super important. And, you know, because I have no immune system, it's suppressed, so I can just catch any, and I catch it all. I catch it all. I had COVID after my transplant, and I had already been vaccinated, so it wasn't bad. I had the Evu-Shield too, so it wasn't horrible. And yeah, so there it is. Right up until time I was recovering at home. All right, see you tomorrow.